Have you ever wondered what really happens to your body when you drink a can of Coke every single day? Imagine the fizz, the sweetness, the tiny bubbles dancing on your tongue. And yet beneath that familiar taste lies a story that spans decades, a story of science, health, and human behavior. Once upon a time, Coca Cola was invented in the late 1800s as a kind of medicine sold at pharmacies to cure headaches and tiredness. People believed that its combination of sugar and a small amount of caffeine could energize the body and even lift the spirits. In those days, a glass of Coke was more of a tonic than a treat. Over time, that perception changed from medicine to pleasure, and it became a symbol of modern life, something you grab on the go, something that fits perfectly in the pocket of convenience stores and refrigerators around the world. Now imagine drinking it every day from morning to night. It starts with the sugar. You know sugar is sweet, but when you pour a can of Coke into your system, you are hitting yourself with roughly 10 teaspoons of sugar in a single sitting. The human body is not designed to handle such a sudden flood of sweetness regularly. That sugar rush creates a spike in your blood sugar, and your pancreas responds by releasing insulin to cope with the overload. If this becomes a daily habit, your body can start to develop insulin resistance, which is a precursor to type 2 diabetes. But it is not just sugar that plays tricks on your body. There is caffeine lurking quietly in every sip. Caffeine is a stimulant that wakes up your brain and gives you a temporary boost of energy, but daily consumption can make your body dependent. This is why skipping your morning Coke can lead to headaches, fatigue, and irritability. Your brain starts to rely on that caffeine signal to function normally, which sounds harmless until you realize over years it can subtly affect your natural sleep cycles and your mood. Historically, people have also believed that Coke could help with digestion. Some even claim that drinking Coke after meals helps settle the stomach, especially with greasy foods. There is a kernel of truth there, as the carbonation can induce burping and relieve mild bloating, yet this temporary relief comes at a cost. The acid in Coke is strong, and frequent exposure to your teeth and stomach lining can erode enamel and irritate sensitive stomachs. Imagine decades of this habit, your teeth gradually losing their protective layer, your stomach adjusting to a constant acidic environment. Culture plays a huge role too. In movies and advertisements, Coke has been shown as the perfect companion to happiness, parties, vacations, and even romance. The perception is that drinking Coke is harmless, a little indulgence in a busy world, but the science behind it tells a different story. Repeated studies show that sugary drinks are linked to obesity, heart disease, and liver problems, even when the rest of your diet seems balanced. The irony is that what feels like a harmless pleasure can actually stress your body in ways you may not feel immediately. Psychology also plays a part. The moment you drink Coke, your brain releases dopamine, the chemical associated with pleasure and reward. Over time, your brain learns to crave that quick hit of happiness, and your mind starts associating Coke with comfort, relief, or celebration. That is why even when you know it is not the healthiest choice, you might still reach for it automatically. It is a subtle form of behavioral conditioning that has been perfected by decades of marketing and cultural reinforcement. And then there is the sodium content. Even though it is not salty like chips, Coke contains phosphoric acid, which changes the balance of minerals in your body. This can affect bones and kidney function if consumed daily over a long period. Some studies suggest that chronic consumption can lead to decreased bone density, increasing the risk of fractures in older age. Imagine the invisible effect of that daily ritual slowly wearing down your structural defenses. If you look at history, there are many myths about Coke too. Some people believe that it could clean coins or remove stains from clothes. It was seen as almost magical outside the body, a versatile solution for everything from rust to grease. Meanwhile, inside the body, those same properties are not so magical. The high acidity can irritate your digestive system, your bones, your enamel, creating a silent long-term effect. While outside it seems so helpful and harmless, this contrast is fascinating because it highlights how our perceptions are shaped by myths and marketing rather than science. Modern misconceptions are abundant. Too many assume that drinking Diet Coke is a healthier alternative. This is partly true because it removes sugar, yet it replaces it with artificial sweeteners that carry their own concerns. Research is ongoing about how these sweeteners affect gut bacteria and metabolism. Some studies even suggest that they may confuse your brain and digestive system, leading to increased cravings for real sugar. This means your daily Coke habit might just be morphing into something equally challenging to your health. Let us talk about energy and metabolism. When you drink a can of Coke, your body burns through the simple sugars, quickly creating a spike in energy followed by a crash. That crash leaves you feeling tired, craving more sugar or caffeine, and sometimes even irritable. Over time, this roller coaster can affect your focus, productivity, and overall sense of well-being. Your body adapts to these repeated spikes, making it harder to maintain steady energy from natural foods. Imagine trying to concentrate at work or school while your blood sugar is bouncing like a carnival ride. Socially, drinking Coke is also interesting. It has become a shared experience at sporting events, parties, fast food joints, and restaurants. It signals belonging, fun, and enjoyment. In many ways, it has integrated into lifestyles globally, yet the consequences often remain invisible, hidden, and subtle. Weight gain, higher blood pressure, or creeping fatigue. These silent effects accumulate quietly, creating what scientists call a metabolic burden. If we explore heart health, the story becomes even more compelling. Daily sugar intake, including from Coke, is strongly linked to increased risk of cardiovascular problems. Obesity, high triglycerides, and inflammation can all be aggravated by sugary drinks. The heart works harder to pump blood through arteries that are stressed and inflamed over time. This is why some cardiologists caution even moderate regular consumption as part of an overall health strategy. Culturally, Coke has inspired artists, musicians, and filmmakers for decades. It has been immortalized as a symbol of American lifestyle and global influence. Yet, while the image is bright and cheerful, the real story is complex because it reminds us that something seemingly small in daily life can have profound ripple effects on long-term health. Understanding this duality is important, not to scare you but to empower you to make informed choices. There is also an interesting effect on the liver. Daily sugar in Coke, especially fructose, puts stress on the liver. The liver turns excess sugar into fat, which can accumulate, causing fatty liver disease over time. This is similar to the effect of alcohol, yet many people do not consider Coke when thinking about liver health. Regular intake is like adding invisible strain to an organ that quietly works 24/7 to maintain balance and detoxify the body. Digestive health is influenced too. The carbonation can lead to temporary relief of gas, but regular exposure can upset the natural acidity in your stomach. This can affect digestion, absorption of nutrients, and the natural gut microbiome. Your intestines are a delicate ecosystem, and sudden or repeated spikes of sugar, acid, and caffeine can throw off the balance, creating bloating, discomfort, and even increase susceptibility to infections. Mental health also connects surprisingly with daily Coke consumption. The highs and lows of sugar and caffeine affect mood and cognitive function over time. The repeated dopamine spikes can create subtle dependency, affecting motivation and emotional stability. People might notice irritability, anxiety, or even mild depression related to overconsumption without realizing the link to their fizzy habit. Awareness is the first step in regaining control over this cycle and making choices that benefit long-term well-being. Let us not forget hydration. Most people do not realize that although Coke is a liquid, it does not hydrate in the same way water does. Caffeine is mildly diuretic, meaning it can cause your body to lose fluids, while sugar can pull water into your intestines, affecting absorption. This means that daily Coke consumption can create a hidden layer of mild dehydration, impacting skin health, energy, and general function over time. If you think about children and teenagers, the implications are significant. Early habits set patterns for adulthood. Regular intake can influence taste preferences, making natural foods seem less appealing over years. This can affect diet quality, physical development, and even self-esteem as body image concerns emerge. A single habit like drinking Coke every day might seem trivial, yet it has cascading effects across a lifetime. Economics and convenience also play a role. The low cost and availability make Coke an easy choice compared to healthier alternatives. People often do not weigh the hidden cost to health against the monetary cost, and in the short term it feels harmless. This underscores why awareness and education are key, because the human brain often prioritizes immediate pleasure over long-term consequences, especially when habits are socially reinforced. Historical anecdotes are fascinating too. Early in the 20th century, Coca Cola was marketed as a remedy for exhaustion, sold in pharmacies with medicinal claims. Many people trusted the soda as a health elixir, without knowing the real effects of sugar and caffeine. These historical roots influence modern perceptions, subconsciously making it feel safe or even beneficial despite decades of research highlighting risks. In conclusion, drinking Coke daily is a complex interaction of taste, culture, psychology, biology, and history. The immediate pleasure masks long-term consequences from weight gain, insulin resistance, liver stress, digestive imbalance, and dental erosion. Yet understanding these effects empowers people to make conscious choices. It is not about demonizing Coke, but about knowing what you are putting into your body and how it affects Your LaFesso next time you reach for that can think about the sugar rush, the caffeine hit, the acid in your stomach, the tiny erosion on your teeth, and the subtle stress on your organs. Think about the habits you are creating and the signals your brain is reinforcing. Knowledge is power, and small mindful changes can lead to big health benefits over time. If you found this video insightful, please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. We have many more videos breaking down health myths and everyday habits that impact your life. Stay curious and take charge of your health, one sip, one step, one choice at a time.